I think I have those, but yeah, if you want to send me that, that'd be fine too.
Okay, the Crooker one. Yeah, something finally hit me, and I called up a guy called Gorgone in Internal Affairs at Portland Police. It finally dawned on me that if John Chandler, which we'll find out when we subpoena the 911 call, but if John Chandler didn't claim that there was a corkscrew, and he was thrown under the bus by the police and or the mayor, and alleged to have said something that he didn't actually say, that is a possibility. And I hate to allege wrongdoing on the part of this young female officer, Allison Walz. But it is in her report, and it looks like her report alone, that she references that John Chandler has said that Mary Eng has a corkscrew which has been brandished in the City Hall chambers, and she is to be approached as if she is armed and dangerous. Hence the brutality from Engstrom and Walz. So given that scenario, I kind of understand why they approached me as if I were a dangerous criminal suspect, which I'm not. I'm just this law nerd who likes city council. So it's really unfortunate that my body was damaged from them, especially given my medical injuries that the mayor knew about from previous incidents. So I guess I want to know if Chandler mistook my cosmetics bag or my eyeliner, my compact with powder or blush.
What I can refer to that is that whatever was in the police report was what was reported. I'm not prepared to speak for Mr. Chandler's state of mind at that particular moment.
Yeah, or why he would say that. I think if it was the plastic trophy, which was kind of like a Barbie doll trophy, like a very small miniature of a plastic golden trophy that I gave to Lone Vet, if that was the offending object, which in Mr. John Chandler's sightline somehow resembled a corkscrew, that's the only thing that I think could even really remotely even resemble anything made out of metal, which it's not metal, it was plastic. But if that is the case, that would be interesting to me because it's actually in the video that I found some additional video from an additional cop watcher who filmed it, and indeed Michael Cohen could verify that it falls on the floor, he picks it up, he gives it back to Lone Vet. A Lone Vet says something about, yeah, people keep giving me gifts, and it was just a gift. So hopefully that was all a misunderstanding, but until then I'm sort of taking it very seriously. I find it rather suspicious that anybody would threaten me in such a way, because I see it as if anybody is planting a weapon on you, that's a pretty serious violation of due process rights. And anybody's alleging that you have a weapon that you don't have in order to encourage police brutality, that would be serious misconduct. But you weren't able to track down the mayor's office or anybody, were you?
No, like I said, I looked at the police reports, I looked at your statements, and as I said, I'm confident at this point that everything was done in a lawful manner. But again, I can't speak to Mr. Chandler's presence of mind during the arrest. I have no idea.
Is he on vacation, or is he available to speak to, or have you talked to him personally?
I spoke to John earlier today, yes.
And did he indicate that there was a corkscrew or not a corkscrew?
I did not have that conversation with Mr. Chandler today.
Are you planning on it?
Well, like I said, I've read the reports, I've read the incident reports, and really that's about the most I can comment on at this point. The legal action going forward will determine what's going to happen. So, I mean, at this point, there's really not much else I can comment on.
Well, I mean, there is an issue in the settlement agreement for the Department of Justice with the Portland Police regarding issues surrounding falsification of testimony or planting of weapons, that sort of thing. So I would hope G4S would have a higher code of conduct that any kind of falsification.
But I'm also, you seem to be fairly conversant in the law. You can understand that in ongoing legal cases and in legal cases that haven't even reached adjudication yet, that there is a certain level of things that can be discussed and a certain level of things that may not be discussed. And the specifics of this case, since it hasn't come up for adjudication yet, I really am not at liberty to discuss.
Well, I do understand what you're saying, but I think the thing that you might understand that I'm saying is that, like down in California, we could frequently disposition something into an alternative mediation type situation. And that's basically what kind of person I am. Like, I'm not out for blood. I'm not a potential litigant. I'm a good citizen from a military family that wants to know why she was attacked at City Hall. And I know why. It's because I asked the mayor to resign. The mayor has hated me from day one. So I'm a little bit of a gadfly. But I think your guys, for the most part, are just wonderful. And I have reached out to Michael Cohen. I've told him that I appreciate the feeling I have. He actually even protected me regarding a girlfriend I had a stalking ex-boyfriend who followed her into City Hall one day. Michael Cohen was so quick in his reflexes. He saw what was going on, and he looked over at me. We made eye contact, and I was able to see him in action, is that he's just a very naturally protective person. But I don't know if you caught this in the video footage, which I was watching it till 2 in the morning. I mean, this stuff is so boring. It's a really boring case. But Michael is just sitting on a desk. He's kind of not really giving any clear orders, which I think if G4S had been able to clearly articulate what the mayor's temper tantrum meant, like if somebody had just said, please leave City Hall and never come back, I would have left City Hall and never come back. But I was under no actual clear communication from the mayor through G4S, which then being arrested for trespassing when nobody's given me a clear order as to what my responsibility was. I was even at one point sitting in the chamber thinking, well, whenever the mayor's done having his temper tantrum, he's going to come back and we're going to get back into the session. I didn't view this as having anything to do with me. So I mean, there were so many misunderstandings going on from X to Y to Z. It's almost causing me to laugh. But I don't know. I'm sure you possibly have something more important to do than worry about this little case. But I guess I will try to pursue it with Mr. Chandler down at City Hall and see if he is able to tell me what it was, because I had a camera in one hand and I'm not quite sure how I could have had a corkscrew in the other. But that's hopefully it was that little gold trophy for my award-winning activist, the veteran lone vet. But I guess time will tell, and I appreciate reaching out to you. I shared your name with Gorgone because if there is some information from the police misconduct, if, for instance, Miss Walz lied about the 911 transmission and John Chandler never even reported a corkscrew, that would be concerning if the Portland police were creating fictitious reasons for brutalizing me.
And I cannot comment on that because I have no specific knowledge of it.
Okay, well, I guess I'm going to let you go, but I'm glad I got in touch with you. Thank you for being available, and I'll send you that last police file I just had scanned, and I'm actually going to send you I think I sent it to you last night, but the Robert West's video footage kind of captures the whole incident, and if you have any cause or need to review it for like performance reasons or expectation reasons, I don't know what your job is like or what you do all day, but I'm happy nobody got hurt, and I'm glad I could sort of put my neck out there to make sure Mike Cohen and Mike Miller didn't brutalize this man, David Keefe Davis identifies as having mental illness, and I don't know if he takes medication or what is his thing, but when he's having this flamboyant disturbance where he uses curse words and things, I was viewing it as a sort of a medical emergency. So as Mike Miller is rounding the corner to maybe approach Mr. Davis, I was able, there's this sort of strange thing that women or especially women who are attracted to careers in law enforcement and law have a different level of power where male energies just sort of neutralize. And I think I was able to both neutralize Mike Miller and David Keefe Davis. And that to me is miraculous because Mike Miller's not going to be sued by David Keefe Davis, and David Keefe Davis is not being attacked by Mike Miller. Mike Miller's a nice guy. I consider him a friend. I'm happy you guys are not getting sued during this whole predicament of really having to put your neck on the line for the mayor's mood swings. And to me, that was beautiful, and it was probably even worth getting arrested and prosecuted for, because I think peace and decorum and those kinds of values are most likely how your company wants to represent itself in an ideal world. And I think the mayor is really putting you guys in a sort of unfortunate scenario by not really, I mean, I don't know if it's a staffing issue, like if there's not enough money. Would you be able to say that, like what's going on with why he can't hold a
I
public
am not
meeting?
at liberty to discuss the details of our contract with anybody outside of our contract, sorry.
Yeah, okay. Well, I didn't mean to scare you yesterday. I think you sounded a little worried when we got off the phone, but hopefully it'll all work out for the best. That's kind of how I try to look at things.
All right, well, thanks, I appreciate your phone call.
Okay, well, you have a great day, Mr. Finley.
You too.
Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye.